Hello everyone. Welcome back to another video of Lyra AI and TCX Energy. Um, yeah, this video is something different. I'm trying to talk about something not related to AI or energy. I'm trying to talk about business practices and consumerism, how it works in Canada. Because as a businessman, right, it's something that you should look into because if you're not looking into that, what are you looking at? You should look at your customers, right, first. So, and also, I've been in this industry, like not in just one industry, but in multiple industries where I have had the opportunity to talk with multiple people, multiple customers, um, and try to understand consumerism. Yeah, so this is somewhat personal but also very structural. I'm an immigrant. I've talked about it multiple times, I guess, in my previous videos. I've lived across different systems and I've noticed a pattern that most people don't stop to question. This is not about blaming people, this is about incentives. Ce, ce n'est pas une critique du personne, c'est une critique du system. I haven't visited India in almost like last 10 years, actually more than that. Actually, I don't even remember now when I visited last time. Uh, yeah, like it has been a quite some time, you know. And I was living in Dubai and I saw the consumerism in Dubai. I have had the opportunity to look the consumerism in India. So when I look at consumerism in Canada, I look at it with different reference points, you know. Uh, yeah, and again, like I didn't visit India just because I didn't want to, but because you learn about because when you're an immigrant, right, stability always comes first, you know. You sort of think immigration as a position, okay? You come here, you just take a place and just put yourself there, you know. Keep your head down and keep working until you become permanent. That's how immigration forces you to think, like, okay. And then you look at economics, you know, you look at geopolitics, and then you look at uh, finance. You see, all these things work better for you only if your position is best. If your position is correct, these things work for you. And if your position in any aspect of your life or like any aspect of your finances or business is not right, it's all gonna crash down. So, as an immigrant who is doing his business in Canada, trying to start their own companies in Canada, and when I look at positions, I sort of feel afraid, first of all, and not just because I mean, okay, let's put it this way. You're an immigrant, you think if I move now, will something break later, right? And that's because I'm too afraid to change my position. That pressure changes how you see everything, okay? Uh, right now, I have that pressure of immigration, so I look at things, in very deeply because if you want to make change, you gotta go through every layer of onion, you know, and try to understand, okay, what this problem is, you know. And let me give you like a, let me give you very very real life example. Something that, average people like me can resonate to. uh, you give a call to your telecom company, your bill is high, you wait, you explain, you escalate, and after 40 minutes they say, okay, we can reduce your bill. You hang up feeling proud. Je me suis bien débrouillé. You must be thinking that, you know what, like, I think I handled that really well. I think I'm a really good negotiator. But here's the uncomfortable question: did you actually win in that conversation? Think about that. Really think about that. Think deeply about that. Okay? Because if you look at this whole illusion from the top, right? I mean, not from the top, but with different reference points, okay? With having the opportunity to live in different contexts and different markets, I sort of saw, I sort of analyzed Canadian consumerism, okay? So this is my analysis, not analysis as a builder and as an observer, okay? I'm not, this is not about any people, this is not about anyone. So if you look at this illusion, okay, from my point of view, nothing was negotiated, nothing. And people might also agree to this, that, this is an illusion, like, this is a total illusion, nothing was negotiated. The discount already existed, the call was already expected, the system was already designed for this interaction. What you felt, it was not power, it was just a relief. Yeah. Et les soulagement n'est pas une victoire. And there is a hidden cost to this. There is a hidden cost, Nobody counts the. Let's count what nobody counts: time, attention, um, emotional energy, because these are the most important things a person should have, right? If you spend 45 minutes to save, like, people sometimes, fight for pennies, like pennies. Uh, if you save 45 minutes just to save $5, what was your hourly rate? $5? Is that your hourly rate? Most people never calculate that. They just feel clever. And if you not think about this, you might also think about, why does this happen? This happens in places where markets don't compete properly. When companies don't compete on price, they compete on psychology. Instead of lowering price for everyone, they reward the people who complain the most and the longest. So people learn a behavior. This is a reinforcement of people at a large scale, if you look at it. People learn a behavior that, I mean, people learn one behavior. That's not negotiation. Okay, you're not learning negotiation in any way. You're only learning how to escalate. Only escalation is the skill that you're learning. Okay? C'est un apprentissage négatif. Very negative. Uh, if you look at, like, uh, different countries, like, some in Europe, um, let's look at our neighbor, United States. Um, the prices are fixed, and transparent. You don't negotiate, you don't argue, you just choose. I mean, in France, I believe there's a saying that le prix est le prix. In Most competitive markets, like many parts of the United States, you don't negotiate either. You just leave. You just leave. You see? And that's a real power. That's in economics or like finance, I don't read finance or economics book. I just observe and connect dots. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but most of the time I've turned out to be right. If I'm not right, if I'm wrong, I would call this power. Okay, first of all, I would not call this a power. I would call this leverage. The people of these countries have that leverage. You know why? Because the markets are very competitive. But in Canada, unfortunately, we don't have that leverage. We don't. We have to sort of like fight with our time, energy, and attention to get a price. Like, we literally have to beg. That's the reality. Um, so why this win might is actually a loss. To be specifically put, like, people think this is a win, they got a lower price, they're happy, and then one day the price increased, and then they were never told about that, they were never informed about that, and then they feel cheated, you know. And that's what it is. This is pure cheating, This is bad business practices. Uh, the problem is not the money, The problem is what this trains in people. Like, the behavior that it breeds in people, that's what is dangerous, you know. It doesn't uh, teach us negotiation. It doesn't teach us, how to be realistic on data. And what it teaches is escalation with with a lot of self entitlement, and that's what is happening. So if yeah, so it trains like noise instead of skills, emotions, uh, emotion instead of structure, short-term relief instead of long-term power. Over time, that weakens everyone actually. Yeah. So it doesn't make you a good negotiator. It doesn't make you, that you got the best price. You are the best. No, you're just shouting. You're just creating noise in a system that is built to absorb it. Do you understand? The system is made to absorb your noise, and you think you are better or the best. No, you're just becoming part of a very expensive illusion. uh, Toutes les mots partent d'un piu. Yeah. As an immigrant, I notice these things faster, not because I'm better, but because I have these reference points. When you live inside one system for too long, you stop seeing the friction. You stop seeing it. Yeah. Uh, and now let me put, you know, a builder perspective into this, because I'm a builder, And when people, with these type of negotiation skills go to manufacturing, they die. They don't survive. Like, I know so many, like, again, I'm in a business community, right? And I talk to people, like, the whole business is about talking to people. And I happen to meet some businessmen, and then I and try to understand, like, why are they, in business, and they tell me, very silly reasons that, they got a very good deal on their telecom service, they got a very good deal on a solar, like product they bought, and then I'm like, wait, is that what makes you think that you're good at business? Mm, 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 I'm not going to say anything. So, yeah, so okay, let's put builder's perspective. If you want to build anything, something like, as small as a career, a life, a company, This environment is dangerous. It's dangerous to build anything, like anything. No, don't do it, because it rewards fighting the system rather than instead of fixing it. You understand? Escalation only is breeding fighting, not fixing. Great systems don't require people to argue for issues or fairness. Yeah, great systems don't require that. Nope, they don't exist. Yep, they make fairness automatic. Great companies, great businesses make fairness automatic, and that's what increases the overall life satisfaction. The overall point of a company is to make life satisfied. We get 100 years to live. I mean, 100 years in Canada, like if you're living in India, I'm not sure you're living 100 years because the environment is not that clean, like there are problems, Um but if you're living for 100 years, at least you should be satisfied with the products and the services that you're getting, right? Um, and these companies, they make people depressed. They make people call every year, every month, just for a handout. And I'm gonna post an example of companies. I mean, some great examples. Now, when I post these pictures, right, like here or over here, there will be one thing that will be common in them. I will let you answer that. I will let you think about that. What's common between these companies? Yeah, because yeah, this is hmm, c'est ça un bon system. Okay, the I mean the like the system gives people the feeling of negotiation so that they don't notice the absence of competition, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, yeah, like in order to hide the absence of competition, you are given the feeling of negotiation, like you are made feel bigger in a way. This is this isn't about shame. This isn't about being smart or not. It's about it's about asking a simple question, one very simple question, very simple question. Actually, two questions, not one. uh, did it make me stronger, this conversation which I had with my whatever service provider, product provider, goods provider? Did this conversation make me stronger or just temporarily satisfied? Do ask that question. And the second question is, am I a really good negotiator, or did I just spend time, energy, and attention in a very expensive illusion? Those are the two big questions you should ask. Posez-vous la question.